Every man says he wants a better life, but very few are willing to become uncomfortable enough to earn it. And that's the real problem. Not your lack of talent, not your lack of opportunity, your addiction to comfort. I'm Coach Giuseppe Nasti, and my mission is very simple: help you become the man. If I asked you what success costs more, people will say money, time, sacrifice, hard work, and they are, most of them, wrong. The real currency is discomfort. Every meaningful thing you've ever built requires you to repeatedly do things you rather avoid. And that's the truth. And that's where most men lose. Not because they can't, because they won't. Today, I want to introduce another framework, and this is very important, that will become part of our operating system. I call it the comfort zone tax. Whether you realize it or not, you pay this tax every single day. The only question is, who receives the bill? The comfort zone tax is four payments: delay, decay, dependence, and regret. The first payment is delay. You keep saying, I'll start Monday, I'll go to the gym next month, I stop eating shit food tomorrow, I'll launch the business when everything is ready, I'll have that difficult conversation later. Nothing feels urgent until years have passed. Comfort always whispers, you got time. The second payment is decay. Anything you don't challenge weakens your body, your confidence, your relationships, your discipline, even your courage. Strength isn't permanent, unfortunately. It's rented. And what I mean by that is, and the rent is due every day. The third payment is dependence. This is where comfort becomes dangerous. You become dependent on motivation, dependent on other people's approval, dependent on perfect conditions, and dependent on certainty. You stop leading your own life because your emotions are leading you. And that's another form of external validation. Instead of asking people for permission, you're asking your feelings. And feelings make terrible leaders. And that's something that I've learned on my own skin. The final payment is regret. Not because you failed, because you never truly tried. Years later, you don't remember the difficult morning. You remember the opportunities you walked away from. And that's regret. The business you never started, the body you never built, the conversation you were too afraid to have. Comfort protects you today, while quietly stealing tomorrow. Look back at the frameworks we built so far. The confidence loop starts with uncomfortable action. The validation trap is choosing approval over uncomfortable honesty. The respect ladder requires difficult standards. The self respect line is crossed every time you avoid discomfort to protect your image. And the mirror principle asks you to face truth most people spend their lives avoiding. Notice the pattern. Every framework points in the same direction, and growth begins where comfort ends. That's not an accident, that's the operating system. This applies everywhere. In business, successful owners make uncomfortable decisions before they force to. They improve systems before they break. They have difficult conversations early. Average owners wait, and eventually circumstances make the decision for them. In relationships, difficult conversations create healthy relationships. Avoiding them creates hidden resentment. Comfort doesn't protect love, honesty does. In fitness, one workout changes nothing. A thousand uncomfortable workouts change your identity. The goal was never to lift the weight. The goal was to become the man who lifts the weight, whether it feels like it or not. Is today exercise for you instead, and no weight involved? Write down three things you've been avoiding, not because they are impossible, but because they make you feel uncomfortable. Circle the one that will make the biggest difference in your life before your brain has time to negotiate. Action before emotion. That's how men change. Comment below. What is comfort costing you the most right now? Your relationships, your health, your finances, your purpose? Write one word and then commit to paying the price of growth instead of the price of regret. Remember this: comfort isn't evil, it's just very expensive because every uncomfortable choice sends you a bill. Sometimes the payment is delayed for years, but it always arrives. The men you admire are fearless, they simply become comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's why they lead, that's why they grow, and that's why they become impossible to replace. Because they stop asking, how can I avoid discomfort? And that's a lesson that I've learned. And started asking, what kind of man does this discomfort create? So become the man. And if you haven't watched my latest video on the mirror principle, please watch it now. Because before you can leave your comfort zone, you have to honestly see the man who's living inside it. It's right here on the screen as usual. Ciao for now, and please believe in yourself because I believe in you.